Okay, look, this is becoming a real feature of the show. We get some great backs on here on BackChat to just talk all thing Backman craft. And this man who's joining us today, you've heard us talk about him a lot here on BackChat. We're very much big fans of his work on the field. Yeah. And just doing a bit more research for this chat, there's some things I need to talk about with the man after a big win in the Battle of the Bridge. We are joined by our BackChat sponsored athletes.
Yes.
Lewis, the Pelican Melican. Like, holy shit, royalty. Now we're talking. How are you, mate?
Yeah, good, thanks. Thanks for having me, guys. Wasn't expecting that intro, but yeah,
mate, we always make time for the Pelican.
Don't worry, the Pelican is all us. We'll add the excitement because, look, I tell you what, the way you go about your footy, mate, is just admirable. And I don't think players like you get enough respect and enough attention. So that's what we're going to do here on BackChat. How are you enjoying Sydney? You've been there for 10 years, mate, but you're a Geelong boy to start with. Didn't know that. Jeez, I'm disappointed in myself.
Yes. No, yeah, love Sydney. It's one of those things grew up in Bury, so down past Geelong. It's one of those things I think I sort of don't really see myself as much of a country kid anymore. I feel like I've been in Sydney for so long, I've sort of adapted to the lifestyle up here. So I don't think mum and dad would love me saying that, but yeah, definitely changed a little bit, I think.
Mate, had a little look through a few stats of yours, just going back over the numbers. There's a couple of things that jump off the page from mine that I'm impressed with. Never bounced the ball in your AFL career, which is just brilliant. You've had one mark inside forward 50, which just tells me you're not even interested in getting involved in kicking things through the big sticks. You've kicked one goal in your whole career. I want to know, what was that? What can you talk us through the goals in your first year playing, 2017? Tell us what happened.
It was, we were playing Gold Coast, I'm pretty sure, out on the SCG. We were pumping them. So they were, I was a bit smaller at that time. I didn't weigh as much as I did now. So I was sort of playing that high half back position. My man just sort of got caught drifting up into the forward line. I was sort of sitting on the 50, and then they just skied a ball out, landed in my lap. I think I came forward maybe 40 to the 40-metre mark. And then I just remember, the thing I remember about is Bud coming around for a handball receive and Jared McVeigh just telling him to piss off. It's like his first chance at goal. Like, don't take this from him. So if I had given it to him, another 60-odd games, and I wouldn't have gone near it. So I'm happy I kicked it.
What a story.
Denying one of the best ever. Yeah, no, sir.
But do you want to just chill out, mate? All right, the Pelican's got this handled. I'm just going to go back and slot this nicely. So it was a set shot, and it would have never looked like missing, I'm assuming.
Oh, absolutely not. No, I do a lot of craft on my goal kicking. So we actually do. I get a bit of crap. We all the backs go down and do kick-ins and stuff. And I'm like, well, I'm probably more chance of having a set shot than taking a kick-in. So I don't even bother.
So what? So you're a little bit down on the pecking order with the kick-ins. Don't worry, I spent a lot of time in that area. So they just say, Lewis, just maybe take your man a little bit wider and just make sure you get out of the space. Is that sort of operation we're running?
My mates give me heaps about it. I took one kick-in against Collingwood. Kicked it out. Josh Dacos picked it up and kicked goal of the year from the boundary. So I haven't gone near it since.
Oh, that's bloody good, mate. It looks like you got a great backline in Sydney, mate. It looks like you're really well connected. We watch a lot of your footy, and love how you've started the year this year, you personally, but your backline must be great to play in.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's one of those things. I think it's just our focus on making each other's jobs easier. It's not so much about who you're playing on. It's our back six versus their forward six. And it's just, it is. It's just, we've sort of got that system working really well at the moment. Few bits and pieces, obviously, here and there that you tweak each week. But it seems to be sort of clicking for us at the moment. So just got to keep doing that for as long as we can.
One of the best nicknames in the AFL, the Pelican. Have you had that all your life?
Or are we just giving it to you now?
It's one of those ones. It probably wasn't until I got up here. I was just like, Mel was always sort of what I got. I think mum was a school teacher, so she'd always introduce herself as Melican the Pelican. So never really got to me. But then, once I got to Sydney, from day one almost, I think it stuck.
That's good. One of the other great ones of the lizard.
The lizard.
We love the lizard. What's it like being the backline with him?
Yeah, he's obviously an unbelievable player. He's a bit of a character. Don't know if you've ever had the chance to meet him before, but he's pretty funny on and off the field. But his abilities on there, like I think sometimes you forget that he's 196 centimeters. Like,
is he?
He's massive. Yeah, he's so tall. And so just the way he runs and uses the ball, but for us as well, just his intercept marking as well. He's actually able to lock down some of their key forwards. He's massive for us.
We haven't ever had the lizard on. We'd definitely appreciate having him on. But
have to get the Pelican first.
Yeah,
there's a pecking order.
There is a pecking order in all forms of that word. It's a terrific use of the word, actually, the Pelican pecking order. Now, but the lizard, I don't know if I've ever... Why is he called the lizard? I just heard him called it, and then we've completely run with it, gone... Do you know, is there a reason?
I think it's a bit to do with his build. He's a pretty skinny, long person. But then it's also just the way he runs. He sort of just like, he gets his shoulders and just sort of wiggles them as he goes. And it looks like a lizard standing up on two back legs and running.
That is so
good. Yeah, I think that's where it's come from.
Bloody brilliant.
Hey, back in round, I think it was 18 in 2017 when you won Rising Star, you were playing on Nick Riewoldt.
Yes.
Is it fair to say that you retired him because he didn't play after... He played like 3 or 4 more games, only kicked 1 goal, one of the greatest forwards ever. Is that a sort of a feather in your cap?
I don't claim it. It's one of those things that was... I was pretty fortunate that he was coming to the back end of his career when I had to play on him. He was absolute superstar of the game. So
yes.
I was pretty happy with the way I played that game, but he still kicked a goal, which sort of pisses me off to this day. So.
You've kept him to under 10 touches. He's kicked a goal, and you still remember it. And that's bloody. So, have you been? I don't know if I need to ask this, but have you been a backman your whole career? As in, not just at AFL level. I mean, like junior footy, like.
Yeah, junior footy. When coming from a town of 900, so out through juniors, it was just I sort of knew how to kick a footy, so I got to play on ball. There was a few until probably I think I would have been 16 when I started playing seniors at Berry, and I went straight into the backline there, and that's sort of where I stayed. I think I played about 5 games at the Falcons as a forward, and my role there was just to stand in front of Paddy and lead out of the way, and then open up space. So it wasn't as enjoyable as I thought it might have been. So I went down back again after about 5 weeks, and pretty happy there.
What a man, just sacrificial as a forward. I mean, that's a true backman. Is there any better feeling than just flushing a spoil, Pelican? Like is there actually any better feeling in life than just absolutely flushing one up the arse of your opponent, ball getting sizzled in, and you just flushing one? Like, is there any better feeling?
Oh, I don't think so. I often think about every now and then we get the bags out at training and boys sort of practice taking hangers.
Yes.
And I just have to tell myself every time I get up there not to just punch it as far as I can. I think that'd be a great thing to do in a game. Just get up on someone's shoulders and just put it 3 rows back. Just absolutely send it into the crowd.
Now, I know you boys are aiming for a premiership this year, as every team always does, and the Brownlow medal is very big, and the Coleman medal is very big, and Norm Smith in the grand final. Like, there's some serious awards going around. But do you know anything about? Well, I don't even need to ask you probably, because I'm sure you do. The Jack Buckley medal, the BackChat Backman of the Year. The race is heating up. So Jack Buckley was the recipient last year. You must respect him from afar, the way he goes about his footy. But do you know about the Jack Buckley medal? Do you know about it?
I don't. I must admit, as you sort of touched on at the start, I don't really think too much about kicking goals. I also don't think too much about any of those individual stuff. As long as we get a win, I'm pretty happy with that.
Well, I can just put it on the radar now. It'd be great if you could just take it back to the boys and tell them what the real prize is this year. The Jack Buckley medal, each week there's a 3-2-1 vote. It's similar to the Golden Fist, except we actually respect and award backmanship. Guys that can spoil, beat their man one-on-one, put shepherds and blocks and smothers and beat their men.
Yeah,
in
not
contests.
giving them out to the backs that go forward or towards the midfield and get 30 touches. We're not interested in that.
It's not about cheap marks in the back line. It's not about getting the switch kicks. It's not about kicking goals. It's about being a back. Does that at least tickle your interest a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely up my alley, I think.
Okay, very good. Battle of the Bridge, mate. You just come off the back of that. How was the atmosphere out there? There's a bit of back and forward before the game, but from a player's perspective, it must be bloody good to come out on top and win that one.
Yeah, absolutely. I think too, just some of the support we've been getting at the games. Like we've had, I think even the next 2 home games already have sold out. Like where our supporters really jumping on board, and even though it was bucketing down rain, they were still all there. So yeah, it obviously showed that it was a big game, and yeah, it was good to obviously knock them off. Always happy to do that.
You're coming over here to Perth this week, mate.
Friday night game.
Friday night footy here in Perth. Are you excited for the big road trip?
Yeah, it's one of those things, having a bit of a hit point of cork sitting on a plane for 5 hours is going to be perfect for it. So I'm looking forward to getting over there and get the legs moving again, I reckon.
Yeah, bloody good. Well, hopefully we'll catch you while you're in Perth, mate. We appreciate you joining us here on BackChat. You are our BackChat sponsored athlete, and so we've got the Jack Buckley medal that you're going to be putting your best foot forward for. What are we sending over to Lewis?
Some merch.
Bit of merch, maybe a BackChat ale.
BackChat ale, some beers. Yep.
So, mate, you've been representing the podcast brilliantly.
Yeah, thank you.
Please go forth and continue your season because you're an absolute fucking gun and we love watching you.
I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me.
Good man.